everybody. I'm Cindy Benson with the Grace and Strength Lifestyle, and I wanted to introduce you today to Coach Anna Kenoyer from St. Louis, Missouri. Anna found me quite a few years ago through a friend of mine from Nashville, Tennessee, and she had contacted me through an email, I believe. Anna, you can correct me later if I'm wrong because, that happens all the time. And so we started a relationship then, and then, she came on board with us and so on. And I'm going to have in just a little bit Miss Anna share her heart and story with you because I know you don't need to hear it from me. Before I do that too, if any of you don't know, Anna is not only a coach with us, but she does all of our administration for our new clients and existing clients. And she is definitely my go-to person. That is for sure. So welcome, Coach Anna. I'm so excited to have you. Yay! I know that you have a powerful story and an inspiring grace and strength journey. And I'm so excited for our listeners to hear it. But I want you to first kind of tell me or all of us just a little bit about some of the struggles that you dealt with, on a daily basis, just as a result of your previous lifestyle, and not just the physical, but, the mental, the spiritual, and just what was kind of holding you back from living God's best for you. So.
Well, several things, of course, on the physical aspect, I couldn't interact with my family the way I had wanted to. I didn't have that physical interaction as a child, and I wanted to provide that for my children. But then other things like I couldn't keep up with them. We couldn't go to trails. I couldn't even tie my own shoes. There was just things from a physical aspect. But mentally and spiritually, it was definitely issues there as well. I dealt with some very serious self-image issues and self-worth issues that caused me problems along the way. And even though I was tough on the outside, I was very broken on the inside. So it was a lot to juggle. So just keeping up with work and keeping up with the family and the kids and friends and all of that, plus having to deal with that yourself inside your own skin, it was very difficult. So I always felt like I was in a constant battle. So that's just, some of the things that I wasn't walking in who I was created to be. I didn't know who I was created to be fully. I heard it, and those things were spoken to me and spoke to me, but I had to deal with all of the things on the inside to be able to live it on the outside as well.
Yeah. And you've obviously done that. How long has it been since you've started and completed?
I completed 3 years ago. I just had my 3-year anniversary, November 22nd.
Yay, a graduation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you lost total from your very beginning, your highest to where your goal was. What was that? What were those numbers like?
I started at 340 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended at, I reached my goal weight at 147. So it was 193 pounds total.
Wow. That's crazy that you weigh less than what you lost. Yeah. So you lost more than a whole of you. Wow. Encouraging. Hey, share with us your why. We know what we call our why, but a lot of, our listeners, they don't know like what that is. And, how was your why? How did that help you to stay committed to your goals throughout your journey? If you would, so I just think that there's probably some of our listeners right now that are exactly where you were maybe at that time. What made you contact us? What made you, when you did hear, we won't say his name just in case, but when you heard about us and what made you contact us and what was that why that really got you started and held you throughout your journey?
Well, my journey kind of has 3 phases to it, or actually this response, this answer that I 6.5 years ago, I was at my very lowest and my worst ever. And I was so broken that I didn't even have hope for myself. So then, a friend comes along, starts talking about this journey, and I had hope, but I was afraid to have hope. So I was really scared. And I watched him walk it out. And so then when I contacted you, but my why was knowing that I had tried everything else out there, good, bad, or indifferent. A lot of times I tried two or three methods at one time. Most were completely unhealthy. I was desperate. I was at the end of my rope. And like I said, I was fun and outgoing and all of those things on the outside, but on the inside, I was dealing with a much bigger monster that I didn't know how to deal with. So my why um, was to ultimately completely sever the lies that I was um, the lies that was spoken to me in my past. I wanted to sever them because um, growing up, I took on a belief that my weight was my fortress. It was my safety net. It's what kept me safe. And as I learned that that was a total lie, I was hearing it, but I wasn't able to walk that out. I wasn't able to feel that or to have that peace or that freedom. And I wanted that. So um, that was my why, is ultimately to walk in peace and freedom that I was reading in the Word that God says that is there for me, but I was unable to acquire. And I knew that with this, with grace and strength, that was my last hope. It was my intervention.
Oh,
So
I just love you. It's hard for, not hard, but for us, me interviewing you, and I do know the journey, I do know the story, because I've been privileged to get to walk it out with you and be part of it, and that is why you are our first coach on here and a coach that helps our other coaches, and just amazing, amazing, amazing story. Um, and as a result of your freedom, obviously, like you just said, you've worked out in the transformations that have occurred within you and for you. Um, what do you think really is the biggest ones, as a result of your freedom that you can think of?
um, wow, wow. The biggest ones would be true peace. The ability to um, take the things that used to haunt me and use them toward the greater good, to not just myself, but toward the greater, helping others find the greater good in them. So I believe that that has been the biggest transformation, is not just being able to believe in myself and being able to have that, feel that within myself, and to give that to other ladies and to help them find that peace and that hope. Some of the other things is walking in true freedom. There's no other explanation. I mean, there's no way, no words can express that. It is just amazing, and that transformation has caused me to live a much happier life, um, a, a more active life, a more productive life, and it just, I feel like a young 20-year-old again, with energy and just life. Life is wonderful. I love it.
Yay, what could be better than that? Oh my gosh. So how do you think your life, I mean, you just mentioned the exercises and stuff like that, but how do you think your lifestyle is different from now than how it was before? Other than just, the peace and yeah, you're happier, but what about your lifestyle? Because I know a couple of things, but I don't want to share them.
um, I was uh, 15 years ago. I told I would never walk again. I was in a car accident, and they told me I would never walk, and then I would never run once I was able to walk. And now I'm able to run 5 to 7 miles a day. You know, um, and just that alone is just amazing. It's amazing to me. Um, I live a very well rounded life, a very blessed life. I'm very blessed because I'm able to um, walk out this journey in a fashion that I never thought possible. And God just wows me. He amazes me every single day. I'm able to look at the big picture and see that all of those hard times and all of those, oh, just one more piece of chicken is going to kill me. All of that, you know, all of that it was nothing compared to the life that I have now. It was nothing. It seemed so huge at the time, but it's nothing compared to the results, the end result.
Awesome. Hey, what would you tell, speak directly to some women that are out there? Because we know there are women watching this, and men, but let's speak to the women because you coach the women, that they're on the fence today. You know, they've tried everything. They've just kind of like what you were saying about yourself. They've been probably every diet they could say they've done, and from exercise programs to whatever, and somehow they're watching this video of you today, and they're just on the fence. They don't know, is this really going to work for me? Is there hope for me? I mean, I see her and her before and after picture, but what about for me? What would you speak to her?
So what would I say to her? Wow. You know, it's easy to get caught up in putting our faith and our beliefs in so many programs out there because there's a lot of programs. Um, like you said, a lot of diets, a lot of exercise programs, a lot of things you can get involved in to help you lose weight. Um, but it's not just about the weight. It's not just about the weight. And most of those things predominantly deal with the weight. And there's things that just learning how to eat healthy, that's going to help you lose the weight, but is it going to help you with everything else that's involved? The strongholds, um, the habits, all of those things. And Grace and Strength does address those issues, and they help break through some of those strongholds, and they help you find breakthroughs, and they help you hang in there. And so I would encourage you. You have nothing to lose. At this point, you have nothing to lose but the weight and find true freedom. So I believe that it's definitely worth a shot, giving it a try, and come aboard, and we'll walk you through it. We've all been there, at least all of us. We've all been there, and I was hopeless. I didn't have. It was my last hope, and like I said, I'm trying everything. Um, but this addresses the spiritual, the mental, the psychological, all of those things that just learning how to eat healthy doesn't address, and we address all of that. So I believe that this is the best program out there.
Yay. I believe you've reached some people. I do. I think you, I know you have. I know you have. And it's true, here, what we do here, a lot of people are like, what exactly do you guys do? They know there's a difference. They know there's a spiritual element. But, if we can sum it up is that we truly, each and every one of us, like you just said, have all been on the program. Every coach has walked through it. They're all where, you are today, if you will. And they're all on the other side and freedom and what that looks like for them. And, we really, our heart is that you find out who you are in Christ. Sincerely, we want you to know that you are all that you're called to be, that you truly believe in your heart that who the Bible says you are, you are. And that's our
Amen.
win, you know. Anna's, I mean, all of us. That's who and what we are. To walk in, and that's freedom. That's total freedom. It's got nothing to do with pounds and inches and all of those kind of things. They're a result of the program, obviously. But when that inside gets free, the rest of that just falls off. Definitely, we'll see. Hey, Anna, share with us some of your best practices that you're doing now to be able to maintain, that freedom. Because, like we said, yeah, there's a physical to it, but your new healthy lifestyle and all that what's that word? Compasses. Yeah. So share with us some of the best practices that you use on a daily basis.
The first thing is at first I include God first. I always ask him, help me make healthy choices today. Help me make and put everything that I've learned, all this plethora of knowledge that I was taught and that I learned through Grace and Strength, help me put that first, or help me put that first, and keep that in the front of my mind. I Some of the things I do now is I exercise regularly. I do make good choices, and I'm not. Um, I don't give in to peer pressure, social events, and things like that. Um, and again, it comes down to making the best choices for myself, and those aren't hard to do now. Now that I've broke through all of those ugly parts the good choices aren't hard to make anymore.
Right,
It's
right.
freeing. I'm blessed to make choices.
Awesome. That's, obviously Anna's an alumni, and that's what we call, and, more so because she's a coach and so on, but alumni just means she's graduated, and we were really, really excited that we have, I guess it's a few months in process now with our alumni group that there's actually a place for them to go. Because after our clients would finish on the program, we've got 5 phases, and they would finish the 4 phases, and I mean, they're anywhere with us from 4 months to a year plus, some of them. And it's a friendship. It's a sisterhood, if you will. It's a family, and they don't want to leave. And they're like, now what? And we're like, let's continue this. How can we do this? What does life look like after they've got to their goals? Another couple months of these phases to really learning how to walk that out, and a lot of teaching and so on. But now what? So we have our alumni group now, and it's awesome. We come together twice a month on our video chats the same way they do on our regular programs, and just another place that they can continue on their journey with all those who have graduated. So, having said that, Anna, what advice do you have for those who have recently graduated or about to graduate the program? They're beginning to walk out their journey in their new selves. What kind of advice could you give them?
The alumni group is the best place for all of us. It's like-minded individuals. It's like-minded people, women who have come together and have completed this journey together, have walked it out. And there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom in there. And like I said, it is still your support group. You've become a family with these people
Mm-hmm.
and with each other. And you know, sometimes it's just you just need that. You know, that's your victory, and these people walked in that with you, and they share that. Where people on outside of that have watched your transformation and watched your journey, but these are the women who have actually walked it out with you, and you'll get a tons of good advice and encouragement and just fed. You get fed on a spiritual level that's just simply amazing. That just keeps further building what you have already accomplished. So it just keeps adding to it. And I encourage everyone to be a part of that.
Awesome, excellent. I think so too. It's like you say, it just encourages. We all, as women, face, different things. We might have conquered and some emotional strongholds or so on. But guess what? If something comes up again, and it will, that's life. You've got that family there. I know recently one of our clients just went through the death of her son, and I tell you what, whew, okay, you're not going to be the only one crying. But anyways, I mean, our family it was amazing, just amazing to see her coach travel hours to be there, and other members of her small group travel to support her and surround her in that time. And yeah, and we've heard personally from her just how much that meant, and it's not yay, grace and strength, it's yay, the family of grace and strength, that is with her, and that it really is, um, I guess who we say we are, it's just a family who supports each other in that way. So, anywho, about your coaching, outdoor coaching, because obviously we've introduced you as Coach Anna. So tell us why that you decided to become a coach. Why did you decide that, and what does being a coach mean to you?
Wow, why did I become a coach? I knew as I slowly transformed, and it was a slow process for the forever at first it seemed, because like I said, it's just so much to deal with, and coming from a extremely abusive childhood and even a young adult life, um, I had so much to get through. So as I started getting closer and closer to my goal weight, it was something that I wanted to that I feared on one hand, but on the other hand, it was like I was excited for. But the day that I reached my goal weight, I just knew there was no way I could live having this experience that day of just how true and just how it felt like I lost 1,000 pounds that day. My past was severed. I didn't cry about it anymore. It didn't haunt me. It didn't bother me. And just that true freedom of how that felt that morning when I saw that my goal weight, I knew that what I had been feeling all along, that I wanted to help others. I wanted, not only did I want to, but I felt a tugging, a pulling at my heart that this is what, this is what you need to do. And I had a job. I had a full-time job, and I left that behind to um, happily left that behind to come to grace and strength.
Hmm.
You know, this is what I was called to do. This is where I was led, and I knew that in my heart that day, and so it was one of those. It wasn't a kind of thing. So I just felt led, and that this is my desire, it's my passion, and so here I am 3 years
Okay.
later.
Yes, and I'm eternally grateful. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord, for where all our coaches are led. They know, this is a ministry first, and they're led. They know that if the Lord hasn't led them here, then we don't want to keep them from somewhere where they need to be, because this is ministry, definitely ministry to each and every one of our clients out there, and each other as a team too. So, um, hey, Anna, what experience of being a coach have you had that maybe you never expected coming into, you kind of have expectations. I'm going to lead them and I'm going to teach them. And I'm like, but I bet you there's something there that there's something you never expected that's happened as a result of becoming a coach.
Wow. Um, Several things. You know, hard. Because at first you just think, everybody's journey is your journey, and you find out that it's not.
Right.
So, but whenever you start walking things out with people, and with these ladies, and they start sharing their heart and their experiences and their life, and when they find when they finally, reach their victory, I never thought that it would be such a happy emotional
Hmm.
time for myself. I'm extremely blessed. I learn something every single day. I'm blessed every single day to have these ladies in my life, and so um, we cry together, we laugh together. Whenever when they have victories, small or large, I never thought that it was such a connection, that the heart can connect that much with people in this journey, and it has. It really has. So my life is truly blessed. So some of the things, women walking in complete freedom from abuse, and from past, and from childhoods, and from eating disorders, and um, addictions, and all of these things that I sit and say, wow, I'm a part of that journey. I sometimes that you kind of get choked up over that, when you sit and think that,
Hmm.
I'm thankful that they've given us the opportunity to walk it out with them, because it's been a true blessing.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. That is, I feel the same way. It's humbling to know that God would use us in that way. It's humbling that they allow us into their lives in that way. And it is, like you say, to walk it out, especially when we know where they were, and then when they're graduating, we know where those insides are now. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. We're blessed, like you said, to get to do what we do every day. It's such an honor. And of course, just speaking to anybody listening, we can't do it without our coaches. God's called me to this back in 2003, I believe, but there's one of me and many, many, many more. So, I know that we do have some coaches in training right now, and definitely, he's called a team. It takes, what does it say? A village to train up a child, and it's going to take a lot of us because there's a lot of women out there and men who are hurting, like, and broken, and they need help. And so, and you could be one of them. Obviously, we'd have to go through our program first. That is a prerequisite, but definitely, um, we will be looking for some new coaches. And so, Anna, what would you say to anybody who is considering to become a certified grace and strength lifestyle coach?
That it is, it's something you have to be led with. make sure you seek God and seek, direction. Is this really what you want from me? Because, we do get into the lives and into the hearts of people, so it can affect. So I would say, I encourage anybody who feels led to be a coach to learn, get as much knowledge as you can, not just so much on a nutritional level, but on a spiritual level, because that is the bigger picture
Mm-hmm.
here.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Be led
Absolutely.
to be led.
Hey, and on one final note before we close out, I want you to speak to your ideal client, that person who's watching right now, that it's just like, I've got to do this. I have such a heart connection with Anna. Who would she be? Who would that ideal person today be for you as a coach?
You know, that's a good question. I'm I have a heart for I just have a heart for anybody who's overweight, especially women. That is my heart. Again, I come from a very abusive background, and abuse in every facet of the word. So I would say that there is freedom for everybody, and so my ideal client would be anybody who wants that freedom, who wants to be healthy, and not just from a physical aspect, but from a mental
Right.
and emotional and spiritual level as well.
Right.
Because I've always told the girls and my ladies, I've always told them, when we get where God wants us to be, the physical part is a side effect from that. Yes, you have to work toward that as well, but that's such a small part of the picture. And then as long as we keep our focus on the bigger things and work through the things that we need to, we'll all get there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll all get, and and so I just, sometimes you feel hopeless. Sometimes you might feel down. Sometimes you might feel out, like they're, I don't know, will grace and strength work for me? You know what? Grace and strength will work. I say, come on, let's give it a whirl. I'm not a quitter. I'm a fighter, and I will go to the end with you. That's just the way it is. There's ladies who say, Anna, why did you never give up on me? And that's not my place. That's not my job. God put me here for a reason, and I want to help. I want to help you. I want to help walk this journey out with you.
Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you, kiddo. Thank you so much for being on here. It was a pleasure. Pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. Yay. If any of you out there would like to have Coach Anna as your coach, I want you to go to www.graceandstrengthlifestyle.com, and on our connect, just connect on the contact link there, and then use a promo code Anna. And our staff will definitely get that, and we'll make sure that Anna is in contact with you to become your coach. Thank you so much, Anna. Have a wonderful day. I love
Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate you.
you.